Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Quick update about a couple items I installed and reviewed about maybe 4 months ago when I was down in the desert. They're from Power Queen. This is a 40 amp charger for lithium, and also a battery monitor. See down here. If you want to watch the original video, I'll link to it. Let me give you a look how I have it hooked up in this power box, kind of a DIY power box. There's a lithium battery in there, so I'll show you how the hookup goes. There we are. So for the power monitor, there's a shunt to install on the negative lead of the battery. On one side is the battery, on the other side is all the negative loads, so it can measure your amperage in and out of the battery and then be able to calculate the amp hours used and the percentage left. And that's worked fine. I mounted it there. I like that it had a plastic holder there that you could easily mount to things. And then as far as the charger goes, it came with these power pole connectors, so you could connect them up to a positive point and then a negative point to charge your battery. And then it has a cable that plugs in when you need it over to the charger. You can see the battery monitor there behind there. I don't know if you can see that, but in behind there I mounted the battery monitor facing out, and there's a small connection to make between the shunt and the display. So let's go outside and give you a look at that in action. There we be. So it seems to be quite weather resistant. I just had this mounted out here. There's a little bit of coverage, but it does get wet and it's kind of exposed to the elements. It gives you your amp hours left and your percentage and current voltage, amperage, and time to when it's exhausted the battery, that sort of thing. And there's a wattage meter as well. It has a light, so at night you can press a button and it lights up. So it's worked out well for that. I have an app for my batteries usually that tell me that, but this just makes it easy to see at a glance what's going on. So I do like it for that. I think it doesn't track super accurate, especially if you haven't recharged it to 100%. I find you have to keep bringing it to 100% quite often so that it can kind of get a handle on where it is. If the battery is going down to say 20% and back up to 50 or up to 70 and down to 30 many times over, it kind of loses track of it just due to, you know, wiring losses and losses in the battery and stuff like that. So, but if it's constantly kind of coming back to 100%, it tracks pretty good. At least for the money, it's a pretty good deal because you get a shunt and a display. I think they go for like about 57 US right now. As far as the charger goes, it's worked fine. I've used it quite a few times to charge up the batteries. So let me flick it on. There we go. So it's coming on there, and it goes out 14.3 volts. Which is a good voltage for charging lithium, and the light there is telling me it's charging. The flickering in the display is because of my camera. It doesn't actually flicker like that in real life. You can see 39.2 amps, and then capacity, it tells you how much amp hours it's been putting into the battery over time. It just kind of cycles through that. I guess the only downfall is the fan is sort of annoying because it's on pretty full there, and I find it's a fairly small fan compared to other chargers that I have that are a little more kind of the converter charges in RVs. And sometimes you can get a little bit quieter fans, but overall it's pretty good. There's a little power switch on the back. You have a kind of a computer cord that goes in, so a person could mount this somewhere near their battery and then just plug it in somewhere in the RV to charge lithium batteries properly. And it's worked pretty good for that. It charges away until it gets to full, and then it switches over. There's an LED here that will say full, and then it will cut the the voltage rate down so that it's not overcharging the battery. Just let me let her go, and we'll wait till this one is fully charged. And you'll be able to see it when it comes up to the end point there. And you can see right now we're putting in 40, a little over 42 amps. There is a bit of draw on that battery because I have dash cams drawing off it, but I also have this solar panel that puts in some amperage as well. Anyway, come back when this is fully charged, give you a look at that. Just wanted to give you a look as it's nearing the end of its charging cycle. You can see 14.6 volts, and now the amperage is down to 10 amps as it slowly drops in amps. Still saying charging. It's showing it's put in 38.7 amp hours so far. And look at the display here. It's showing 298 amp hours, 100%, 14.4 volts. So, should be pretty close to finishing charging soon, and it should go to the float mode. There we go. Just kicked off and it says full, showing 14.1 volts there. And then the meter over here is saying 100%, 14 volts, no longer charging. But you can see the amperage is a little off there. It should say 300 amp hours. It's at 298 amp hours. That's what I mean, it can sometimes get out of whack. But for a cheapy little battery monitor, not a bad value. And this thing goes for, I think, about $179 right now. Sometimes these things go on sale. But not a bad thing for someone who switches over to lithium batteries in their RV and doesn't want to install a dedicated converter charger. They can always just hook this up and top up their lithium batteries. Till next time, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Thanks for watching, folks. Cheers, guys.